Go, go, Pacific Rim! You mighty morphin' Pacific Rim! Psh. Hi, I'm Andre and I'm a black nerd with a review for you, Better Reviews. And today I'm reviewing Pacific Rim, which is a movie. I swear it's not something dirty that you would ask for money for. Hey baby, can I get a Pacific Rim? Here's $50. Ew. I'm gonna tell you the good, I'm gonna tell you the bad,
and I'm gonna tell you the nerdy.
Plot of Pacific Rim. Monsters show up and then we make giant robots and fight them. The end. Best plot synopsis ever. First, the good. Pacific Rim is fun. I mean, fun. From the start to finish. You want to see some fights with giant monsters and giant robots? Pacific Rim is your movie. We got you covered. They did a very good job in detailing the monsters and the robots. They look so amazing on screen. You know, you look at this and you go, Godzilla, the American version with Matthew Broderick, you couldn't do this. I look forward to seeing how that new Godzilla looks. There's one fight that takes place in Hong Kong that's just amazing. The monsters fighting the robots. Oh, I'm sorry, the kite, let's go fly kite, and the Jaeger bomb, Jägermeister. Monsters and robots, that's all you need to know. Monsters versus robots, that should have been what this movie should be called. Monsters versus aliens, monsters versus robots. Sold. There's a really cool cameo in this that I won't reveal, but when you see it, it is awesome as hell. Boy. And then that gets to the actors. I know there's been a lot of complaints that people feel like that the dialogue was really cheesy and the actors were very hokey. Did I say hokey or hulky? They all turn into the Hulk. And I have to say, that's a good for me. I actually like that. I don't know if it was intentional or if it just ended up being that way, but this is a very cheesy movie. And so when you add the characters acting cheesy on top of it, it just makes for the perfect B-movie film with A-movie special effects. Especially when Charlie Day comes out and he's like this wacky fanboy scientist and he has an assistant who's all like, I'm a British puppet scientist. Oh, he's so wrong. That's when I knew, you know what? This is a live action version of an anime or a Saturday morning cartoon. Or those Godzilla movies I used to watch after the Saturday morning cartoons. That's how I took this. So I love that all the characters were ridiculous. Especially like there's this one guy who meets the main character right off the bat. It's just like, I don't like you. Oh, you haven't been around for 10 years. I don't like you. And you better watch your back and you and your friend. Always just staring at each other, huffing. And then of course you got Idris Elba, the greatest actor of all time. Today. I love that he does his speech like this. He goes, today, and then he stops, turns to the side, poses, and then does his speech. Today, we will fight these monsters. We are canceling the apocalypse. Can he be the next Doctor? If you make Idris Elba the next Doctor, then I'm watching. Now for the bad. There's a lot of fights that actually happen in the water, and I have to say, those are a little bit more difficult to appreciate because you got gray monsters, gray robots, in gray water, and it's raining and it's dark. So eventually what just happens is you just get a muddle of gray, like just gray. And then on top of that, a lot of the shots are really close up. You're not really seeing the full monster fight. I would have liked them to just pull back a little bit, maybe have some more fights on land or with different colors. The reason why the Hong Kong fight is so cool is because it's a futuristic Hong Kong, so there's neon lights everywhere, all these different buildings, cars everywhere. You get a multitude of colors along with the fight. Wonderful experience to see on screen when it's just dark water, but no pirates in dark water, and dark monsters and dark robots and dark rain, and after a while it's like, it's just too long. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. Don't get me wrong, you are never bored of it. It moves along at a good pace, but when you're just having a movie about monsters fighting robots, you can give that to me in 90 minutes, 100 minutes, and I'm satisfied. There just seems to be this new thing now where every single movie has to be 2.5 hours, has to be this epic thing. I don't need 5 speeches of Idris Elba telling his friend, daughter, whatever, hey, I don't want you to fight. Like, we already know all these plot points. We know where they're gonna go. So hit the mark and get out. Get me to that next fight. Let's go. And this is a really nitpicky complaint, but there's a scene where we see the beginning of how all this began, and they show a shot of President Obama. I've noticed this in a couple of movies lately, particularly action films, where they seem to want to now put the current president in the movie to act like this is actually happening. And I don't know, I don't like that. I feel like if you're gonna make a fictionalized movie, then have a fictionalized president. It makes no sense to me that we've got sea monsters running around, robots fighting those monsters, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing an image of President Obama talking about, you know, he's probably a video clip of him talking about like actual terrorists, and you're using a fragment of that to make it seem like he's talking about monsters attacking. No. Transformers did that too. Boo. Why all of a sudden President Obama, we gotta decide to put him in our disaster movies? Is it, you know, I know we did that with Morgan Freeman. That's all we need is some Obama hater to be like, oh yeah, you see, we elect the president and now we got giant monsters tearing up the world. Thanks a lot, Obama. This would have never happened under McCain's watch.
And now out for the nerdy.
The entire movie. This movie is such an homage to anime, Voltron, Gundam, Ultraman, Power Rangers. Clearly this will be the #1 movie in America. Should you go see Pacific Rim? Absolutely, it's a lot of fun, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I can see why it's not the biggest movie in America. It is definitely a nerd film. This is along the lines of like Scott Pilgrim. If you're into this kind of stuff, if you're a fanboy, you're gonna love this movie. It's gonna hit home to you perfectly. But I feel like outsiders who may not have as much of a knowledge of this type of stuff, it's gonna be harder. People know who Superman is. People know who Batman is. I can understand why people would go see those movies and not see something like Pacific Rim. It's an original concept, original story, and it's based on things that's not huge for everyone. So it is a tough sell, but I guarantee you, if you like things blowing up, if you like fights, this is a movie you should check out. I really want more people to see this movie because it's a lot of fun. I'll say this though, you know how you should be afraid in horror movies if you're a black person because you usually die first? I think the equivalent of that in action films is being a tall building, particularly a tall office building. If you are a tall skyscraper and you have a bunch of cubicles inside of you, you're going down. Either Zod's gonna take you down or the Avengers are gonna take you down. Kaiju and Jaegers, they're gonna take you down. If you are a skyscraper, you will not survive. Oh, and I know a lot of people recently watched Sharknado. There's actually a scene that happens in both of the movies almost the exact same way. Yes, I just compared Pacific Rim to Sharknado. Boom. Be sure to tickle that thumbs up button, share this video with your friends. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Addy 5000. Ching chomp. Yo.